Hi everybody, it's Mary Ellen Stites from Create With Me, and I've been a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! For 18 years almost here in a couple months. So I started to do a video on the Stamparatus for my Create With Me live Teach Me Tuesdays on my Facebook page, and I was having all kinds of difficulty. And as I went to record this video, I realized that this was more than one video. This is a whole series. There's so much to do with the Stamparatus, so I want to do it complete justice. So what I'm going to be doing is a short series of videos on what the Stamparatus is and how to use it. So if you're interested, you can go over to my Create With Me page on Facebook and like me, and then you'll get notified of my Teach Me Tuesdays, and these will come up as bonus videos each week. So watch for those. So let's go ahead and go down to my table. All right, so let's just start from the very beginning. So what are you going to get when you get a Stamparatus? So it's going to come in a box just like this. And let me show you all the pieces. It's packed in some plastic bubble wrap. You're going to get two plates. You're going to get a little bit of a guide on the pieces, how to use them, super basic, okay? Then you're also going to get a foam mat, just like this. And then your Stamparatus is this piece right here. And then on the back, there's a place, and there's two earth magnets. So if you know anything about earth magnets, they're super, super strong. And sometimes they're a little bit hard to even get off of here. And if you get them too close to each other, they will kind of snap together, and sometimes they'll break. So be really careful when you're using your magnets. You will need them, but be really careful because you don't want them to break. So what I recommend, excuse me, what I recommend is that you take your magnets and cover them with some washi tape and put a couple of extra lengths on there so that you can pick those up off your mat. It'll give you easily something to grab onto. Or you can take some painter's tape just like this and cover them. That works perfectly fine too. And they're probably a little more visible. So you can just hear how strong that is, just like that. So I want to also show you that there are some accessories that you can purchase separately. One is a replacement mat. You can purchase those in the catalog. You can also purchase a deluxe mat. And what I like about this is there's a surface that is wipeable. So this is the one that I usually use because I can just wipe it off. And you can purchase some small grid paper that you can tear off and put inside. And I use this probably the most of everything because I can mark exactly where I'm going to be placing things, and I don't have any trouble when I'm positioning every single time. So there's some extra things that you can get separately when you're looking at the Stamparatus in the catalog. So let me show you some very, very basics on the tool. They have these two hinged plates. We have two sides that will hold the hinge plates. They go in at a 90-degree angle. That's the only way that they can go in and come out. You don't want to try to get them out on an angle because it will not come out. It will only come out if you're going straight up and down. So keep that in mind. When you go to close your tool, you're done with it and you're ready to close it, never ever try to put one plate on top of each other, because as you'll see, I'm going to try to turn it, it will just have this little gap, okay? And if you force it, they will crack at the hinge. So I always take mine off, turn it, and place it like that and put it in my drawer or put it on my table. So those are some things you want to keep in mind. They're very, very basics of using it. The other thing that I want to talk about is what you're going to use as far as ink. So you want to consider maybe using some Stampin' spots. You can use your regular classic ink pads. That's fine. I found that if I use the Stampin' spots, if I have them in the color I need, they just leave a little less residue on the plates and I'm not cleaning up as much. So both work perfectly fine. And the other thing is, the first time you use it and you ink up with the large pad and you get some ink on the plate, don't worry about it. You don't have to clean it off before you press down your stamp onto your paper, it will not get on your paper. That is the nice thing about this tool. So why a stamp positioning tool? The reason we have a stamp positioning tool is for several reasons. You're going to learn about them in the video series, and it's because you can if let's say that you're at the age where you might have some arthritis, or you might have some physical issues that you've found that stamping is more difficult. The stamp position tool is excellent for that. I can place my stamp on. I can position it on my paper just like this. I can close my arm just like this, press down, pick up that stamp, ink it up, and then stamp to my heart's desire. Take this paper off. I can put a new one in. Let's say I'm making happy birthday cards and I'm making them for the month. Then I can just make them all at once. The other thing that's nice is if I ink this up and the image isn't as clear or crisp as I want it to be, I can go ahead and re-ink it, stamp it down again, and even again if I need to, and feel confident that it's going to stamp in the exact same place. How many times have you stamped and then the image wasn't good and you end up having to throw the paper away because you try to re-stamp it and you realize that now you've got a little bit of a shadow? So with the stamp positioning tool, you don't have that. The last thing I want to talk about is how to clean it. So I have found the best way for me is by using a Simply Chamois. You can purchase these in the catalog. And what I've done with mine is I cut mine. Now mine's well used. This is clean, but it is stained. I cut mine into 3 pieces, and this is the only one that's wet. These 2 are dry, so they're a little bit smaller. They kind of plump up when you wet them. But I find that if I have a piece that's just like this, it's very nice for me to be able to just come and clean the stamp, or even fold it in half and clean it without having this big chamois that I'm trying to work with like this. So I sacrifice 1 chamois to my Stamparatus. I cut it into pieces so that I just can use a little piece like this. I can wipe off my plates and they're ready to go. So that's the end of the basics of the tool. And the next video in the series will be on hinge stamping. So stay tuned for the next video, and I hope you have a great day.